We started recording at 4.
All right, so hello everyone. So we are going to be presenting the Hallmark Awards workshop. First, we would like to introduce our chapters. So Alessandra, if you would like to introduce Omega Gamma.
Hello everyone, I am Alessandra Martinez. I am the chapter president of Omega Gamma chapter, and my fellow officer Christina is here with me as well, presenting for our chapter.
All right, and we are the Omicron Psi chapter from Grayson College. I'm the president of that chapter, Storm Anderson. With us, we have our secretary, Kelly Keys, and our director of committees, Lavada Burse. So let's go ahead and hop right in.
So an overview of what we'll be presenting today is the award categories for administrator, member, advisor, chapter, Texas region, and the deadlines will be at the end of the presentation. So the first we're going to be presenting is the Administrator Awards. The deadline for the Administrator Awards is December 2nd, 2020. The first Administrative Awards that will be showed is the Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees is a director serving as post-secondary institution with an active chapter. Nominees demonstrate a strong level of support for the society, and 1 entry per chapter is being taken. The Board of Trustees Awards will be presented at the ACCT Leadership Congress. They may also be presented to the advisor of the nominating chapter during appropriate occasion, and the recipients will be notified by the summer of 2021. The next award is a Distinguished College Administrator, which includes vice presidents, deans, etc. They are serving in their position for at least 3 years as of December 2nd, 2020, and have demonstrated during their tenure a strong level of support for the society. For these awards, 1 entry per chapter is awarded. An administrator may receive this award only once, and they are not eligible if they are a college president, campus CEO, state community college director. The next award is the Paragon President Award. These go to the new college presidents, chancellors, campus CEOs who share outstanding efforts given towards promoting Phi Theta Kappa and its mission, and they have not served more than 3 years as of December 2nd, 2020. The next award is the Shirley B. Gordon Award of Distinction. This goes to college presidents, campus CEOs, with their outstanding efforts given towards promoting Phi Theta Kappa and its mission. They have served for at least 5 years at the current institution as of December 2nd, 2020. The Shirley B. Gordon Award of Distinction nominees also share a demonstration during their tenure of a strong level of support for Phi Theta Kappa. The nominees may receive this award only once. The next award is the Michael Bennett Lifetime Achievement Award. This goes to retiring college presidents, campus CEOs, and community college state directors who have been supportive of a Phi Theta Kappa throughout their careers. They should have served at least 5 years at the current institution, system, or state association office as of December 2nd, 2020.
The deadline for member awards is January 13 of 2021. Distinguished Chapter Officer Team nominees must have demonstrated an exceptional atmosphere of teamwork, leadership abilities, promotion of honors in action, and other engagement in the society and enthusiasm for the hallmarks. They are nominated by their chapter advisors. The distinguished chapter officer should demonstrate leadership, promotion of honors in action, and other engagement in the society and enthusiasm for the hallmarks. A chapter may nominate up to 2 individual officers, including the chapter president. The distinguished chapter officer may only receive this award once. They are not eligible if they are appointed team leaders or committee chairpersons, international officers during their year of tenure. Distinguished chapter members should be members, appointed team leaders, and committee chairpersons. Has embodied the hallmarks of the society through honors in action and other chapter activities. The distinguished chapter member is not eligible if they are an elected officer, whether it be chapter, regional, or international, and a student may receive this award only once.
Next is the Advisor Awards, which are due January 13th of 2021. The first is the Distinguished Advisor Team. This award goes to an advisor team of 2 or more. They must demonstrate an exceptional atmosphere of teamwork, leadership abilities, promotion of Phi Theta Kappa's programming and other engagement in the society, and enthusiasm for the society's hallmarks. They must be nominated by their chapters. Advisors nominated for this award may also be nominated for other individual advisor awards. Chapter advisor teams are eligible to win the award every other year. Individual advisor awards. These awards go to people who have made significant contributions to the growth of their individual members, serve their chapter advocate as a chapter advocate on their campus, encourage the chapter to be involved on the local, regional, and international levels of the organization. Years of service based upon the advisor's start date reported to Phi Theta Kappa headquarters. Paragon Advisor Award. This goes to an advisor who has served less than 4 years of service as of January 13, 2021. An advisor may receive this award only once. Distinguished Advisor goes to an advisor who has served at least 4 or more years as of January 13, 2021. An advisor may receive this award only once. Continued Excellence Advisor must have already received the Distinguished Advisor Award. Advisors are eligible to win this award every other year.
All right, so moving on, we are going to be discussing chapter awards. The deadline for all of these are going to be January 20th of next year, so 2021. Starting off, we're going to talk about honors in action. Honors in action incorporates academic research and analysis and an action, service, or advocacy part. And the idea is collaboration within the chapter and the community at large. When you submit honors in action, it is actually required to be considered a 5-star chapter, and anything that you submit to headquarters is considered for publication in the Civic Scholar, which is the Phi Theta Kappa Journal of Undergraduate Research. If you'd like to know more about honors in action, we do have a link to the program guide there. I'm going to pause just for a second so people can kind of jot that down if they would like.
And next up, we have college projects. The purpose of college project is to establish and/or strengthen a supportive network between the chapter and college administration. And the ultimate purpose of college project is it's the final step in becoming a 4-star chapter, which you need to become a 5-star chapter for honors in action. In order to start college project, it's advised that you meet with the college administrator to establish a college project that supports the college's mission.
The Distinguished Chapter Award can be received if your chapter has submitted both your honors in action and your college project. Your college project and your honors in action does not have to have a high score in order to be distinguished. The top 10 chapters will be recognized, but you still have to make sure you guys are submitting both your honors in action and your college project to be 5-star. The Beta Alpha Continue Excellence Award is an award that's presented to distinguished chapters. The winners of the award have to hold this title for 3 consecutive years. So if you have it for 4 years and on the 5th year, you're not a distinguished chapter, then you have to start all over with your 3 consecutive years again. So it's critical that once you become a Beta Alpha chapter, you want to continue to be a distinguished chapter officer, distinguished chapter, excuse me, every year. And this little fun fact is that this award was named after the Beta Alpha chapter right here in Texas at Blaine College, Brenham, Texas. The top 10 most distinguished chapters are the chapters who get on stage at the end of the ceremony. They do scroll through all of distinguished, top 100 distinguished chapters on the teleprompter, but to be on the stage as a top 10 distinguished chapter, you must score highly on both the HIA and the College Project Award categories. You also must be a Reach chapter. To be a Reach chapter means that throughout the year, you have to have a 15% acceptance rate of members who join throughout 2020. And you also must be named a 5-star chapter at the end of the 2021 cutoff time, based on all the activities that you complete throughout from January 1st to the December 31st, 2020.
All right, so now we have Texas Regional Awards. This first group, you see the deadline here says January 29th of 2021. These are based on your submission to a headquarters, so there's not a such separate entry form for the Texas region.
All right, first up, we have the Hall of Honor for College Administrators. And in order to be eligible for the Hall of Honor, you have to be the nominee has to be either a vice president, a dean, or any other leader at the college other than a president, a CEO, serving in any administrative capacity.
I'm going to interject here for 1 second before we move on. I'm so sorry. Just because I want to clarify something. As Storm said, there is no separate entry for this section that they're talking about. What you submit to headquarters automatically puts you into the regional award consideration. That January 29th deadline, though, please understand it doesn't mean that you can, if you miss the original deadline of filing these with headquarters, it doesn't mean you have till January 29th to submit to Texas. Because we do have some entries, and they'll talk about them, that are specific to Texas, that you only submit to Texas. That January 29th deadline is for those. But because these are based off of headquarters, then you do have to meet the headquarters deadline for submitting these. Just to clarify that. Sorry.
Thank you. Those nominees that are eligible for Hall of Honor, they also have to meet the following requirements. They have to have served in their position for at least 3 years as of the regional convention, which I don't have the date off the top of my head. Professor Linder might be able to clarify that. They have to have demonstrated during their tenure a strong level of support for the society and their local chapter, and there have to be up to 10 administrators inducted each year.
So Hall of Honor for Chief Executive Officers. So these are your college presidents and campus CEOs, and it does include the new and the retiring ones as well. And so the college project is for you to strengthen your chapter and chapter's relationship with the administration. So if you do the college project correctly, you will have built a strong relationship, hopefully with your college president, and then they will want to participate more in Phi Theta Kappa events because they see what you're actually doing. So throughout the year, this person has to make outstanding efforts toward promoting the goals of Phi Theta Kappa. And what better way to bring it up when you're in your college project meeting, some of the things that you guys are also doing so they can get involved throughout the year. Another thing is the application does cite specific ways that the president has to demonstrate this support for your chapter. So make sure you are reading the prompts when you're actually writing this up. So also individuals who were submitted for the Paragon Award, the Shirley B. Golden Award of Distinction, and the Michael Bennett Lifetime Achievement Award are eligible to be submitted. And each year they have as many as around 15 chief executive officers inducted annually.
All right, so let's talk about honors and action themes. So honors and action, the honors and action program guide has several different themes. They change biannually. So in Texas, we do honor the top chapter projects in connection with each theme. And chapters participating in the category will also be eligible for an award of distinction, which is the top chapter per category, and an award of merit, which is up to 2 chapters per category. So the honors and action award distinction, as mentioned in the last slide, is the top 2 chapter HIE projects submitted in connection with any theme.
As for the college project awards, sorry, my brain fuzzed out on me. The awards given out for college project hallmarks are top chapter projects. There are 2 awards of distinction given out to the top 2 chapters, and the award of merit, which is given out to the top 30 chapters.
All right, and so now we're going to talk about the Texas Region Awards that do need to be submitted to the Texas Region. As Professor Linder was saying earlier, the deadline for these is January 29th of 2021, and they are available for review on the texasregionptk.org website. You go to honors, and then under honors, there's a drop-down box that has regional awards.
The Community Service Award is an award given to chapters who successfully complete a service project. There are 2 sponsored chapters in Texas who we want to recognize for this award each year. Iota Alpha from Trinity Valley Community College and Alpha Gamma Pi from Austin Community College are the sponsors of this award. And we are grateful that they do this year after year for us. So if you're watching, thank you on behalf of all of us. And then also when you are submitting your entry for what your chapter has done for the service project, the essay needs to make sure you detail the goals, the outcome, and the effects. And that form is available on the website that Storm just mentioned a minute ago. So for first place, you will receive a trophy, a nice, beautiful trophy. And you also will receive one Texas Honors Institute scholarship for your chapter. For winning second place, then you will also get that Texas Honors Institute scholarship.
All right, so the yearbook is actually an award that is given out by the Texas Regional Alumni Association. We have not heard yet if the plans have changed for this year because of the pandemic. So kind of keep an eye out for that. We did include it because it is a traditionally awarded award. There are 2 categories, traditional and digital. This year will likely be digital if this competition continues. But the idea of the yearbook is that the chapter chronicles all of their events and projects over the year and brings it to the Texas Regional Convention. The winner will receive 1 Texas Honors Institute scholarship, and there will be up to 2 awards of merit per category. Again, the guidelines are available on the Texas Region website.
As for the poster project contest, there are 2 categories as well. The first one is Honors in Action, and the second one is College Project. The winning chapter receives 1 Texas Honors Institute scholarship, and they also get up to 2 awards of merit per category. Oh, I'm sorry, there are 2 awards of merit per category awarded to the winning chapter. The entry form is on the website, and it is also judged at the Texas Regional Convention.
And I will say that this is going to happen this year. There will definitely, because that's straight from the region. We can't speak for TRAA with the yearbook, but the poster competition will happen. It will be digital posters, and more information about that will be coming very soon for the chapters that are wanting to enter that. So they'll have all those guidelines.
Sorry, I almost forgot to unmute myself. All right, so most improved chapter. This is based on your submission to headquarters, but it is a Texas specific award. And what we do in the Texas region is we like to honor the chapter who has significantly improved over the course of the year. And you don't, to be most improved, you do not have to be a 5-star chapter. So there are things that make you not eligible for most improved. So if you are an awardee for Honors in Action Project, College Project, a Regional Milestone, a Top Texas Chapter, a Continued Excellence Chapter, or Most Distinguished Chapter, you do not qualify for most improved. So moving on to the Pinnacle Award for Continued Excellence. This is presented to an advisor who has served a minimum of 10 years and has previously won Continued Excellence for Advisors and Distinguished Advisors.
Next up, we have the Hall of Honor for Outstanding Officer. Those nominees who were unsuccessful in the Distinguished Chapter Officer Awards will be automatically nominated for the Hall of Honor for Outstanding Officer.
The Hall of Honor for Outstanding Member are for students who are unsuccessfully awarded the Distinguished Chapter Member Award. They are considered for this award.
So Hall of Honor for alumni, if you have an alumni who has embodied and promoted the hallmarks of Phi Theta Kappa, even though they have graduated and moved on, then you can nominate them for this award. What makes the Texas Region Award different from the International Award is that the International Headquarters Award requires your alumni to have been an alum for at least 2 years. We don't have that restriction here in the Texas region. So if there's somebody you had in mind and they haven't been alumni for that long, you can still apply, nominate them for Hall of Honor for alumni. And we also do give out awards of merit for outstanding alumni who are unsuccessfully nominated to the Hall of Honor.
Next up, we have the Tejas Award, which is given to an outstanding friend of Texas Phi Theta Kappa, meaning that the person nominated cannot be a member or an advisor. The nominee must also have demonstrated exemplary support of Phi Theta Kappa. And finally, we have the Friend of Texas Award, which is given to a person who was nominated unsuccessfully for the Tejas Award. You are automatically considered for the Friend of Texas.
So to give you guys a recap on what the deadlines are, as mentioned earlier, the deadline for the following awards passed yesterday, but keep this in mind for next year if you're going to be around, or if you would please pass this information on to the incoming officers to submit awards for your administrators. They do a lot for us and they would love to be recognized as much as we like to be recognized. And these awards are typically due earlier in the year. So keep an eye out for the dates so you won't miss the deadline. So it's for Board of Trustees, College Administrator, the Paragon President Award, the Shirley B. Gordon Award of Distinction, and the Michael Bennett Lifetime Achievement Award.
All right, so January 13th is going to be what we call the individual awards deadline. So chapter officer team, chapter officer, chapter member, advisor team, Paragon advisor for the new advisors, distinguished advisor, and continued excellence advisor are all due on January 13th. To be a 5-star chapter, as we mentioned, you do have to submit your HIA and your college project, but you also need to submit an individual award. So you can take your pick, but you have to have one of them for 5-star status.
And now we have a regional officer team, and the regional officer deadlines are January 15th, 2021. Honors and Action Project and College Project deadline is January 20th, 2021. And regional awards for excellent Most Distinguished Alumni Association Award and the Alumni Award of Appreciation are all due January 29th, 2021.
All right, and I believe we are going to go into a Q&A. If you have questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat or unmute. But at the end slide, we do have contact information for both chapters. That is our email and our social media. So you can reach out to either of our teams and we'll be happy to help you any way that we can.
There's a question in the chat, but it's more directed for me, so I'm going to go ahead and answer it. The question that came in has to do with the regional award forms. Those have not opened yet. There will be an announcement made when those are open. We have never, ever, 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 never, ever, in my experience since 2009, received an entry this early from chapters. So we typically don't open the regional entries until around mid-December. And so that's why when you look on there, it says that the forms are, it says 2020 dates and that the 2020 form isn't accepting. The 2020 Hallmark Awards have closed, right? That was what we awarded at regionals and Catalyst this year. And so the 2021 applications will be opening inside the next week. And an announcement will be pushed out when those are available. But all the descriptions for all the awards are there so that your chapters can look at those and be preparing for what you're going to be writing.
So Dr. Hargis asked if we had any tips for writing because they want to beat us this year, which I don't know why you're saying Alpha Mu Tau, but okay. So
I was like, didn't Alpha Mu Tau, didn't they beta alpha as well?
Yeah, like,
okay.
Why are you harassing us? But so as far as tips for writing, we go through several editor processes. The big one is ask people who don't know anything about Phi Theta Kappa to review your submissions, because you might think that, hey, I know what I'm doing, this sounds great, and then somebody else reads it and they're like, I have no idea what any of this is talking about. So reach out to different editors. Several processes, don't submit last minute.
I have some advice too. Write as a team, write together. Traveling virtually all over the country, I have learned that some chapters, one person writes all of their awards, and that is not fair. It's a chapter award, it's a chapter effort. So write together as a team, and then if you would pass it around to other team members and let them take a look at it, that will help as well. But don't write the awards all by yourself. Make sure you guys are putting in a team effort, and actually that'll help you. It'll relieve some of the stress. Your teammates will pick up some of the things that you left off. It's a team effort. So that's my advice.
So I have a question about the chapter officer award. What if nobody in your chapter is an elected officer, but you're all appointed?
If it's the process outlined in your chapter bylaws for the selection of officers, then it qualifies. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
I have to be very careful. So that's one of the challenges because chapters are individuals, right? They're run by their individual schools. And so it's really hard when they write kind of those criteria because it isn't a one size fits all. So as long as it's a process outlined for the selection of your officers in your bylaws and your advisor has reported those officers through the system to headquarters, then they will be listed as qualifying officers for these awards. That's a great question. We don't get that very often. Thank you for asking that.
Absolutely, no problem.
I will also give a tip when you're looking at I can't help myself. I already warned my officers. I'm like, I'm gonna sit here in the background, but then I have impulse control issues. So when you're looking at the rubric, and you'll see that on the rubric, it has different points available, right? So say to get 10 points in this section, you do this. To get 7 points in this section, you do this. 4 points, do this. Cross out everything but the top scoring, right? Cross out everything in that example but the 10, because you're Phi Theta Kappa. You don't go into a class and say, I want a C. You want the A. So don't even look at anything below that top level, and then write to that. Use the same verbiage, write in the same order. So if it says in there that, the officer was, promoted the 5-star chapter development plan and promoted, competitive edge, give those examples. I mean, don't make them up, but give those examples if that's what the officer did, in that same order. Make it as easy on your judges as possible, because what they're doing, they're giving only a couple of minutes to every single entry. And so you want to make it easy for them to see that you've checked all the boxes essentially, and that's going to increase your scoring. If they have to hunt for it, they're not going to, because they've got to move on. There's so many entries to be judged. And so that making it as easy on them as possible is really going to help you in the scoring. And by the way, I'll say that's a good tip for class as well. Keep that in mind when you're writing your essays. Look at that rubric that your instructor has given you and write to that. And it's going to help your class grades as well.
Alrighty, so is there any other questions? All right, so we decided to have a little bit of fun. We did make a Kahoot. So I am going to cue that up and share my screen with y'all. If you would like to play, feel free to jump in.
There is a great incentive to play.
Can y'all see that? Are we good?
You're good.
I like the name, Smart Unicorn.
I thought y'all were just coming up with these off the top of your head, but
I did too.
I was really impressed.
That's why I was like, I
That's
like
the honest truth.
All right, is everyone in who wanted in? See thumbs up. All right. I'm going to assume yes. I'm hitting start. When is the deadline for individual awards?
Oh, look at that snazzy girl.
Oh,
Who is that?
All right, it was January 13th. So, let's see. I've never actually used Kahoot before, so this is gonna get really. All right. So, good job, Smart Unicorn, Smart Turtle, and Majestic Lark. When is the deadline for college project and honors in action? All right, yeah, January 20th. All right. Which project is more important in distinguished chapter judging? All right, yes, they're weighted equally. It used to be honors and action. They've actually changed it last year to where they both have equal sway. Okay, which award must be submitted to the Texas region? Unity service. The others are based off of your submission to headquarters. And then we have a true or false. A chapter may only nominate one officer for distinguished officer. That is correct. Nobody got that one wrong. Good job, guys. A chapter must be 5-star chapter to be considered for most distinguished. True. Who's Smart Unicorn? Are you cheating? Just
Smart Unicorn's on fire.
no. Who does not qualify for distinguished college administrator? All right, good job, everyone. Okay, true or false? A nominee can only receive a Paragon Award once. Right. Which of the following is due January 13th? They all are. I'm sorry, that one was a trick question. All right, so let's see who our winner is. So we have Majestic Lark in third, Smart Turtle in second, and Smart Unicorn, you have won. So let me stop sharing real fast. So Smart Unicorn, if you will identify yourself in the chat, and I can share with you my email, we are going to be giving you a gift card. Oh, it's Alexis? Yeah, okay. I'll send you my
proof of myself.
yeah,
because some people are like, is it really you? Yes, it is me.
all right. Well, thank you everyone for coming and for playing. Alexis has my email, so I don't have to type anything in the chat. Thank you guys.
Are there any
Thank
other questions
you.
that people thought of just before we release everybody here? We want to make sure your questions are answered. Nope. This is like in class. Okay. Well, thank you so much to Omicron Psi and to Omega Gamma for presenting this, a lot of good information. I personally would love to see more chapters entering the regional award categories. It seems like those often get overlooked. And so definitely want to make sure that you are aware of those. So really appreciate that those are highlighted. Also, don't forget that there is District Hall of Honor as well. So each of our 5 districts in Texas awards District Hall of Honor. And so that information should be pushed out from your VPs very, very soon, because each district kind of sets their own deadlines. And so we can't give you a unified deadline for that. Typically, it's going to be late January, early February, if if looking at the past is any indication of what will happen here. So you do have a little time on those, but don't forget about them, because we definitely want to make sure everyone gets recognized.